I thought I was just insecure about my girlfriend's male best friend, but when she told me, Kurt thinks you're not really good for me, and I'm starting to think he's right. Those words hit different when you realize you weren't paranoid after all. I'm Joe, 30, product manager at a SaaS company in Austin. I've always been calm and logical. I hate drama, and I definitely hate being that guy who can't handle his girlfriend having male friends, which is why I spent 6 months gaslighting myself into thinking I was the problem. My girlfriend Claire, 28, is a freelance UX designer. We've been together a year and a half, living together for 6 months. She's open, trusting, creative, everything that drew me to her. But she has this best friend from college, Kurt, 29, who works in marketing. That's where everything went sideways. At first it seemed normal. They text daily, FaceTime sometimes. But then I noticed patterns. Kurt calls at 11 p.m. to check in. He always has opinions about our relationship, framed as concern for Claire. I just want to make sure she's happy, man. The texts are constant. Cooking dinner, her phone buzzes. Kurt. Watching a movie, phone lights up. Kurt. I wake up at 2 a.m. She's on her phone. Just Kurt, he's going through something. I brought it up once carefully. Hey, do you think maybe Kurt is a bit much? Claire looked at me like I'd suggested her mom was a serial killer. He's my best friend, Joe. He's been there for me through everything. You're being insecure. And I believed her. I backed off, tried to be cool about it. But Kurt had this way of making sure I never felt secure. He'd tell Claire stories when I wasn't around, painting me negatively. Nothing obvious, he was smart. He'd mention I seemed standoffish at a party I didn't attend, or bring up something minor I'd said weeks ago, framing it as concern. When he said that about your work, it seemed dismissive to me. I kept mental track. Every time Claire and I had a good weekend, Kurt suddenly needed her. Every time we discussed future plans, Kurt had a crisis requiring hours of Claire's attention. After those conversations, Claire came back different, distant, questioning. The weirdest part, Kurt avoided me completely. If we were in the same room, rare because he'd find excuses not to be, he barely made eye contact. But somehow he knew everything about me. My schedule, habits, insecurities. Claire must have told him, right? 3 weeks ago, Claire and I fought. Something stupid about making plans with college friends without checking with her first. Normal couple stuff. But she got upset, shut down. I need to think, she said, going to her office. I gave her space. Went to the gym, came back, made dinner. She was on the phone in the bedroom, with Kurt obviously. I caught phrases. Doesn't get it. Making me feel crazy. You're right. When she came out, her energy had changed. She looked at me like she'd made a decision. Kurt thinks you're not really good for me, she said, standing in the kitchen doorway. And I'm starting to think he's right. I stood there with a wooden spoon, sauce simmering, trying to process how my relationship had been evaluated and found wanting by someone who'd never had a real conversation with me. Claire, what does Kurt know about what's good for you? I kept my voice level. He knows me better than anyone. He's known me for 10 years. He sees things you don't see. Like what? Like how you don't understand my emotional needs. Like how you're not as mature as you think you are. Those weren't her words. Those were Kurt's words coming out of her mouth. I wanted to argue, to point out how insane it was that her male best friend was running our relationship from the sidelines. But something stopped me. Maybe pride, maybe exhaustion. Maybe I realized that if she trusted Kurt's judgment more than her own experience with me, we were already done. Okay, I said. If that's how you feel, she looked surprised. Okay, that's it. What do you want me to say, Claire? You've made up your mind based on what Kurt thinks. I'm not going to beg you to see me differently. We stood there in the kitchen, the sauce starting to burn, everything falling apart in slow motion. But here's what I can't stop thinking about. Kurt has spent a year and a half undermining me, analyzing me, studying my reactions. He knows exactly what buttons to push with Claire to make her doubt me. He's memorized my patterns, my schedule, my weak spots. Why would someone put that much effort into destroying their best friend's relationship? Update 1. It's been 5 days, and you guys were right about so many things. I've spent the last few days at my buddy Jake's place in a weird fog, trying to piece together what happened. The night I posted after that kitchen confrontation, things escalated. Claire didn't want to let it go. She wanted to talk it through, which really meant explaining in detail all the ways Kurt convinced her I was failing as a boyfriend. We sat on the couch, the one we'd picked out together at IKEA, and she laid it out. I wasn't emotionally available enough. I didn't validate her feelings the right way. I was conflict avoidant when I should be leaning into discomfort. These were all Kurt's phrases. I know because Claire's never talked like a therapy podcast before. Where is this coming from? I asked. Be honest. How much is you and how much is Kurt? Wrong question. She got defensive immediately, told me I was being dismissive. This was exactly the problem. I didn't take her concerns seriously. I take them seriously. But these aren't your concerns. You've never talked like this. You're using his words. Maybe he's helping me see things clearly. Or maybe he's in your head. She grabbed her keys. I'm going to talk to Kurt. He actually listens to me. It was 10 p.m. She left to go to Kurt's place, another man's place, to discuss our relationship. Around 1 a.m. I got a text. Staying at Kurt's. I need space. The next morning she came back to pack. She'd been crying, but there was resolve in her eyes. I think we need to break up. I wasn't surprised. Kurt thinks so. This isn't about Kurt, this is about us. You're not emotionally mature enough for what I need. Emotionally mature enough. I've heard Kurt use that exact phrase on her Instagram stories. I need someone who really understands emotional intimacy, she continued. I just nodded. I was done fighting. Okay, Claire. I hope you find that. She looked confused, like my lack of resistance proved her point. You're not even going to try. Try what? Convince you that your best friend is wrong about me. Compete with someone who knows you better than I do. No, I'm not going to try. She left. That was 3 days ago. Here's where it gets weird. Kurt, of all people, has been texting me. Sympathetic texts. Hey man, I'm really sorry about how things went down. I never wanted this to happen. I hope you're doing okay. Then yesterday, I feel terrible about my role in this. I was just trying to look out for Claire, but maybe I overstepped. Maybe he overstepped. This guy systematically dismantled my relationship over 18 months, and now he's texting like we're bros who had a misunderstanding. But the really weird part, he's posting cryptic sad shit on Instagram. Grayscale photos of rainy streets, quotes about losing people you care about, songs about heartbreak. Why would he be sad? He got what he wanted. Claire's single. If he's into her, this is his shot. But instead he's mourning and texting me. I went through old group chat messages when Claire would include both of us. Kurt was always weirdly focused on me, not Claire me, asking about my work stress, commenting on my gym routine, remembering things Claire would forget. One message from 8 months ago stood out. Claire sent a photo of me cooking to the group chat. Claire's message, my chef with a heart emoji, and Kurt's response, he looks good in your kitchen. Not that looks good or nice job, but he looks good. I showed Jake. Bro, he said, staring at his phone. That's not a normal way to respond to your girlfriend's boyfriend's cooking photo. Right. And you said he knows everything about you. Your schedule, your habits, what pisses you off. Yeah, I figured Claire told him. Jake got quiet. Or he's been studying you. This morning, another text from Kurt. I know you probably hate me, but I want you to know I really do respect you. You handled all of this with a lot of grace. Grace? I lost my girlfriend. I'm sleeping on Jake's futon that smells like old running shoes. I've been eating nothing but Chipotle for 3 days. What part of this is graceful? But also, why does he care how I handled it? Why does he care what I think of him? Claire hasn't contacted me at all. Complete radio silence. But Kurt, he's checked in every single day. Some of you asked if Kurt is into Claire. I thought about that. It doesn't track. If he wanted her, why spend all this energy convincing her I'm not good enough instead of just being better? Why break us up but not make a move? Unless he never wanted Claire in the first place. I have a work happy hour next week, networking thing I can't skip. Mutual friend of mine and Kurt's is hosting. Kurt will probably be there. I think I need to talk to this guy face to face. Because something is very, very wrong, and I'm starting to realize I wasn't confused about what was happening. I was just confused about who it was happening to. Update 2. I need to write this while it's fresh. The networking event was last night. I almost didn't go. I've been a mess, barely functional at work, living off Jake's generosity. but Chris, who was hosting, asked me to come. Plus, free drinks and job connections. I'm a product manager, I can't afford to ghost these things. I got there around 7, talked with some engineers I knew when I saw Kurt across the room. He saw me at the same moment. His face, it wasn't awkward or guilty. He looked relieved, almost happy. He came over immediately. "Joe, hey man, I'm glad you came." "Chris invited me," I said, neutral. "Right, of course. How are you holding up?" Something about how he asked it. Too personal, too intimate for someone who just helped blow up my relationship. He touched my arm briefly. I stepped back. "I'm fine, Kurt." "You don't look fine, you look tired." Breakups tend to do that. "I know, I'm sorry." He was staring really intently. "Can we talk, actually talk?" I should have said no, but I needed to understand. "Sure." We grabbed drinks, found a quieter corner. Kurt got whiskey neat, what I drink. I'd never seen him order it before. He usually does craft beer. "I've been really worried about you," he started. "Worried about me? Kurt, you convinced my girlfriend to dump me. Why would you be worried?" "Because I know what it's like to lose someone important, and I know you're probably going through hell right now." "How would you know what I'm going through?" "Because I pay attention, Joe, I always have." That stopped me. "What does that mean?" "It means I notice things about you, the way you process stress, the way you shut down when overwhelmed instead of talking it out, the way you bite your thumbnail when thinking hard." He gestured at my hand. I was doing it right then. I pulled my hand away. "You learned all that from Claire." "Claire barely notices those things about you. She's too focused on herself to really see you. And you see me. I always thought you deserved someone who really understood you. Someone who appreciated how thoughtful you are, how much you care. Someone who got that your quietness isn't emotional unavailability, it's just how you process things." I felt cold. "Kurt, what the hell are you doing?" "I'm being honest for once. I'm tired of pretending." "Pretending what?" "That I helped Claire see the truth about you because I cared about her happiness." "I do care about Claire, she's my best friend, but that's not why I did it." My heart was pounding. "Then why?" "Because watching you with her was killing me. Every time she took you for granted, didn't appreciate what she had, every time I listened to her complain when the problem was her, not you, it made me want to scream." I stared at him. "You're not emotionally immature, Joe. You're emotionally intelligent enough to not make everything about yourself. You're not conflict avoidant, you pick your battles. Claire doesn't deserve you, she never did." "What are you trying to say, Kurt? Just spit it out." "I think you know what I'm saying." I stood up. My drink was shaking. "You're not into Claire." "No, I'm not into Claire." "Jesus Christ. I never wanted to hurt you, I couldn't stand watching it anymore. You being with the wrong person, being misunderstood, undervalued. I thought if I could make her see it wasn't working, maybe eventually." "Eventually what? What did you think was going to happen?" "I don't know, I just knew I had to do something." I was backing away. "You manipulated my girlfriend into breaking up with me because you what? Have some crush on me." "It's not a crush. Joe, I've spent a year and a half getting to know you through Claire, learning everything about you, understanding you better than she ever did. Every time she called to complain, I was really just learning more about who you are. And just stop. I know this is a lot. Kurt, you systematically destroyed my relationship because you're attracted to me. What the hell is wrong with you?" People were looking. Kurt grabbed my arm gently. "Can we go outside?" I yanked away. "Don't touch me. Please, Joe, let me explain." "Explain what?" "How you manipulated Claire's trust, how you used her to get to me, how you've been obsessing over me." "I haven't been obsessing, you know my schedule, my habits. You remember things my actual girlfriend didn't. You've been studying me like a project." His face fell. "It's not like that." "Then what is it like?" "I just wanted to understand you." I felt sick. "And it never occurred to you this was insane, that you can't manipulate someone's relationship because you have feelings. I was trying to help both of you." "Bullshit, you were helping yourself." He went quiet. Maybe I was, but tell me you're not better off without her." "That's not the point, isn't it? She never appreciated you, Joe. She never saw you the way you deserve to be seen." "I should have left then." "Did you come out to Claire? Does she know you're into men?" "I'm bisexual, she knows, but she doesn't know about," he gestured between us, "about you using her as a proxy to get close to me." He flinched. "I care about Claire, she's my best friend." Fucked up way to show it. I never meant for it to go this far, I decided to tell the truth. That you two weren't compatible, which was true. Based on your completely unbiased opinion, huh? He looked ashamed. I know how it sounds. Do you? Because from here it sounds like you're a manipulative asshole who destroyed 2 lives for selfish reasons. I never wanted to hurt you. That's the last thing I wanted. Well, congratulations, you failed. I left. Sat in my car for 20 minutes trying to process. When I got back to Jake's, I told him everything. He sat with his mouth open. Holy shit, dude, that's... I joked about him studying you, but I didn't think. Yeah. Are you going to tell Claire? That's the question. Does she deserve to know her best friend sabotaged her relationship because he's attracted to her boyfriend? I got a text from Kurt around midnight. I'm sorry about tonight. I shouldn't have said those things. I was drunk and wasn't thinking clearly. Please don't tell Claire, it would destroy our friendship. Then at 2 a.m., I mean everything I said about you being a good person. You are thoughtful and caring and you do deserve better. I just went about it wrong. I haven't responded, but I need to talk to Claire. She deserves to know the truth about why we really broke up. Final update. It's been 2 weeks since the networking event. 2 weeks since Kurt's confession. I know you guys have been waiting for this update, and I'm sorry it took me a while. I needed time to figure out what the hell to do with this information. I decided to tell Claire. I know some of you said I should just let it go, move on, let her figure it out herself. But this wasn't just about me anymore. She had a right to know that her best friend of 10 years had been using her as a vehicle to get close to me. That every conversation she thought was about her relationship problems was actually about his obsession with me. We met at a coffee shop last Tuesday. Neutral ground. She looked tired, thinner than I remembered. She hugged me when she saw me, which caught me off guard. I've missed you, she said. Claire, we need to talk about Kurt. Her face changed immediately. Joe, if this is about trying to get back together by making me doubt him, just listen, please. So I told her everything, the conversation at the bar. Kurt's admission that he wasn't into her, that he'd been fixated on me, that he'd manipulated her perception of me deliberately. I showed her the late-night texts he'd sent me. She didn't believe me at first. Of course she didn't. That's insane. Kurt is my best friend. He's not. He wouldn't. Call him, I said. Right now, ask him directly. I'm not going to ambush him based on it's not an ambush if it's the truth. She stared at me for a long time. Then she pulled out her phone and texted Kurt to meet us. He responded immediately. He was working from a coffee shop 3 blocks away. Of course he was. He walked in 15 minutes later, saw us both sitting there, and his face went pale. Claire, what's going on? Sit down, she said. Her voice was shaking. He sat. His eyes kept darting to me. Joe told you. Told me what Kurt, but she already knew. I could see it in her face, pieces clicking together, memories recontextualizing. About what I said at the bar. Tell me yourself, say it to my face. There was a long silence. Then I wasn't trying to protect you from Joe. I was trying to get you away from him. Why? Because I couldn't stand watching you waste him. Claire's hand went to her mouth. Oh my God. You never appreciated him, Claire. You took him for granted. You complained about things that weren't even problems. And I had to sit there and listen to it, knowing that if you weren't in the way, if I wasn't in the way, her voice went sharp. Kurt, I'm your best friend. You are my best friend, but he should have been with someone who saw him clearly, who understood him. Someone like you, maybe, yeah, maybe someone like me. She stood up so fast her chair scraped loud against the floor. How long? What? How long have you had feelings for my boyfriend? Since the first time you introduced us. He said it flatly. That barbecue at your place. He was helping you set up the grill and you were snapping at him about the charcoal, and he just smiled and handled it. I remember thinking he was patient in a way you didn't deserve. Jesus Christ. Every time you called me to complain about him, I learned something new. His work stress triggers, his conflict resolution style, how he shows love through acts of service instead of words. All these things you missed because you were too self-involved to notice. I watched Claire's face crumple. You used me. I never meant to hurt you. You sabotaged my relationship. You manipulated me into doubting someone I loved because you wanted him for yourself. I wanted him to be with someone who deserved him. And you really think that someone was you? Kurt, you spent over a year lying to my face. Making me think he was the problem when you were the problem. How is that deserving? He didn't have an answer for that. Every time I talked to you, Claire continued, her voice breaking, every time I trusted you with my feelings, you were using that information against him, against us. I was trying to show you the truth. The truth is you're not my friend. Friends don't do this. Claire, get out. Let me explain. Get the hell out of my face. He left. She cried for 20 minutes straight while I sat there not knowing what to do. Finally, I'm so sorry, Joe. I shook my head. You didn't know. I should have known. You tried to tell me something was wrong and I called you insecure. I chose his word over yours. He was your best friend. You trusted him. I was an idiot. She grabbed my hand across the table. Can we? Is there any way we can fix this? I pulled my hand back gently. No. Joe, please. Kurt manipulated both of us. He did. But the things you said about me, the doubts you had, those existed before Kurt amplified them. He couldn't have manipulated you if there wasn't something there to work with. I was wrong about all of it, maybe, but you believed it. You believed I wasn't emotionally mature enough, that I didn't understand you, that I was holding you back. Kurt didn't create those thoughts, Claire. He just encouraged them. Because he was manipulating me. And you let him. You trusted his judgment about me more than your own experience with me. It didn't matter what his intent was. You should have trusted me. That was on you. That's a choice you made. She started crying again. I don't know what to do now. I lost both of you. You didn't lose me. We were already over. You lost Kurt, and honestly, good, you're better off. I left her there. I know that sounds cold, but I meant what I said. We were done before Kurt's revelation. Finding out the truth just explained why. Now the current situation, I redecorated my apartment after Claire moved out her last thing. I bought new sheets, navy blue, 400 thread count. Replaced all the kitchen stuff we'd shared, started over with exactly what I wanted. Kurt has tried to contact me 6 times. Calls, texts, 1 email. I blocked him on everything after the 3rd attempt. I don't need to hear more explanations or justifications or apologies. What he did was unforgivable, and unlike Claire, I don't owe him closure. Claire texted me yesterday. Kurt moved to Denver. He took a new job. I haven't spoken to him since that day at the coffee shop. Then, I'm in therapy trying to understand why I let him in my head like that. I replied, that's good, I hope it helps. And I meant it. I don't hate Claire, I just don't want to be with her. The weird part is I've started dating someone new. Maria, 32, works in data analytics. We met at a climbing gym. She's direct, funny, asks me questions, and actually listens to the answers. We've been on 3 dates. I told her about Kurt and Claire on the 2nd date, figured if that was going to be a deal breaker, better to know early. Her response, damn, that's messed up, but also kind of fascinating in a psychological horror way. Are you doing okay? And I realized I am. I'm actually doing okay. Sometimes I think about Kurt and wonder if he's still obsessing or if he's finally moved on. I wonder if he's in therapy too, if he's told anyone else about his twisted 1.5-year-long crush. I wonder if he understands how deeply he violated 2 people's trust. But mostly, I don't think about him at all. What I learned from all this, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. You're not always paranoid or insecure. Sometimes you're picking up on real manipulation. And boundaries with friends, especially friends of your partner, aren't just okay, they're necessary. Claire called me last night. I let it go to voicemail. She said she understands why we can't be together, but she needed me to know that she's working on herself and she hopes someday we can be friends. Maybe someday, but not today. I've got a 10K coming up next month that Jake convinced me to register for. Maria might come watch. Work's going well. I'm sleeping better. My apartment smells like the cedar candles I like instead of Claire's vanilla ones. I thought I was fighting another man for my girlfriend. Turns out, I was the prize they were fighting over and I never consented to be. But I'm nobody's prize. I'm just a guy who got through some complicated shit and came out the other side whole. That's enough for me.